Hey, Brad.
Hi.
By the way, is it concerning that no one sits in the front row other than me?
Not sure.
Yeah.
Is it me or is it you?
I don't know. I'm sure they're intimidated. I'm not sure why. In your games, you guys have had as many games where you've scored 3, 4, or 5 goals as games where you've scored 0, 1, or 2 goals. So what does it say about this offense where you put together sometimes it's tough to score, but when you score goals, you often score a lot?
Yeah, sure. Just thinking of the times we haven't scored goals. Minnesota, Seattle,
Portland.
Chicago. All right. Yeah. Well, Dallas 0-0, 40 minutes in. Come on. Yeah, listen, I think it's no secret in world soccer if you score the first goal, the game progressively becomes a little bit easier, and you can manage it in certain ways. So just thinking about that, obviously playing at home, makes a difference to see how teams are arriving into town, how they are setting up their shop, and opposed to teams are playing away from home. So, but yeah, it's just what we want to do, right? It's our signature. We want to be brave, want to play vertical, want to play forwards, want to create goal-scoring chances, and yeah, when we get the first goal, we don't want to just settle and protect the goal from the back. We feel the best form of defense is really staying on the front foot and, trying to still be aggressive. And, we hate a passive way. We instill a mentality of our boys to be aggressive in that nature. So why would we change that? We'll pick up different points maybe when we're leading games, you know what I mean? But we still want to be aggressive.
And then speaking of the offense, Klaus hasn't practiced with the team yet this week. You had Ulm today. Where do those two stand?
Yeah, I mean, Ulm is trending in the right direction, We'll have to see how he comes through tomorrow, but I'm not getting any hopes up. We just have to see where he does medically and how his body responds. Klaus is week to week now. We just have to see. He has some good days and some bad days, and we can all learn from this because, yeah, we're not dealing with robots, right? So we're dealing with feelings and pain and emotions and injuries. So, yeah, just we're hoping he's back sooner than later, but there's no guarantees.
So you're ruling him out for this week?
With who, Klaus? More than likely, yep.
Bradley, Vancouver is coming off a win against Seattle. Also had a good stretch of undefeated games, quite a few clean sheets. What makes it so difficult to play against them?
Yeah, they're very organized. Credit to them. They're playing a very good brand of soccer. And they've adopted a little bit more of a transition approach, right? So they're really ruthless in transition. They scored a ton of goals in transition, and they look almost a little bit like us, jumping balls in the midfield and playing vertical and getting guys on the move and on the run. So they're in a good space right now, right? So, yeah, we're going to need the energy of the home field, the stadium, the fans. We feel we have good spirits coming into this game and a good mentality and confidence. So I'm expecting a good game on Saturday, right? So it's just not things would be far too easy in the MLS if you just say teams that come here will roll them over, right? So Vancouver's definitely not one of those teams, and they're trending in the right directions.
There's been a lot of talk this week about Indiana Vassilev kind of being the answer, so to speak, to Klaus being out and able to complement Nico Gioacchini well, both locally and nationally. What do you make of that assessment, and do you think that is the answer to Klaus being out?
No, I mean, we pick different games and different opponents to put in different and personnel to put in different positions, right? So, but, we've used Indy Day before, right? We've used Edu Day before. Now with Jobs coming back into the fray, it just changes the profiles a little bit of what we're trying to do positionally, tactically. We know that Indy's a 10 by trade. He likes to be higher up the field. He feels at home there. I feel he's got really good passing range from deeper areas too. So, when we have two guys like that, Edu and Indy, it's just, sometimes it might be Indy in the 10. Sometimes it might be still Edu in the 10. So just the thing is with Edu, he likes to drift into the 10, and then he's back in the 6, and then he's out in the 8, and he's a little bit. I'd like to give him that freedom from a deeper position at times, knowing that Jobs is underneath now, and keeping a little bit of screen in the back line and making sure that he can make plays like he did against Sporting KC.
And Vancouver is one of the top teams in the league in duels. So their back line, their midfield, they're very strong with that. That was one of the big highlights of the Sporting Kansas City match, it seemed, is the ability to win duels in the midfield. How do you see St. Louis able to be successful in that area?
Yeah, I believe Matt Doyle put it out there. We lost the duel count against Sporting KC, So what feels like something, but that's the energy of a tackle, right? So it's the energy of in the moment. And if you get those moments right, you can sway the momentum, you can sway the game, and you can make great plays. We spoke about the times that we go into duels, the amount of times. Vancouver are second in the league for their tackle rate, successful tackles. So yeah, we know it's a combative team. We know it's an organized team. We know it's a pragmatic team. We know they can keep the ball. We know they can play good in transition. So that's them. What we have to do is us. We have to stick to our game plan and who we want to be and what we stand for. So I think over the last 2-3 weeks now, we've been slowly getting that mentality back of ruthlessness, and we're getting guys back healthy at the right times, and slowly but surely we're getting a full complement in the roster, and there's a lot of internal competition again, which is great. It's fun to watch in training, and I think it was fun to watch last week.
Coach, you've had 10 guys score goals this year. A couple parts on this. A, how much of a luxury is that for a coach? And B, how surprising is it for an expansion MLS team to have this much depth so early in your existence?
Well, I believe depth comes from your principles and what you've done early on, right? So it's laying the foundations and the principles that we go through preseason, playing 6 games, having 9 different goal scorers, right? So now we have 10 different goal scorers in as many games, or 11, 12 games, all competitions 13, right? So add AZ, Akil Watts, and Miggy Perez, right? So just add those. That's 13 players in 14, 15 games. So it just, if you do the foundation and your principles are clear and your philosophy is intact and everyone's got the buy-in for that, I just think the system is the winner, right? The collective buy-in is the winner. So and we always spoke about like a hybrid plug-and-play system. So this player's out, this player comes in, does the job, and succeeds. So I feel that's the beauty of having, I wouldn't call it, yes, depth is great, but I just think it's the understanding of what we're trying to do.
For Roman Berkey, he has 13 starts in the MLS, 3 clean sheets. Whenever he is on, like we saw on Saturday, is he the best goalie in the MLS?
We believe so. I mean, what other teams believe in and what I don't know where the stats are with Roman. I know he's kept us, I think, 5 point whatever goals, he's saved up until this point. So he's proven that fact, right? So we knew we're not taking a gamble with Roman. I think a lot of outside chatter really scrutinized what we were doing in the goalkeeping department. But we knew how tough it is as an expansion team. And, we're not going to be, in terms of shots against, I think we're in the top 10, if I'm not mistaken, shots against total, 10 or 12th. So, we pretty much bang on, top third of the league, so to say. But when we do give up chances, we give up high quality chances. So that point of view, for sure, we're working at it and we want to get better. And, we do a lot of individual work trying to, we'd like Roman Berkey to keep more clean sheets, and we'd like him to be not as active some days. I just always reflect back to the Colorado game, and we're like, we don't need those games again, So to be fair to him, in the first couple of games, 75 minutes in, he didn't have much to do, and then he comes up massive in one moment in one of those games, for the first 3 or 4. We need Roman, right? We need every player in this roster. We need a good, solid back line. We need sixers who understand what we're trying to do. We need our attackers coming back in the game. It's not just a one-man show at the back. We need, Klaus's of the world, Gio Keeney's of the world to come back and do defensive duties as well. That's the collective buy-in and the game model that we believe in. And it's topics that we discuss all the time. So, Roman is good. We know that. We know what we have with him, and, we value him surely.
Next, we'll go to Justin Horniker.
Hey, Coach. Jabu Lam goes late into the game on Saturday. Is he at the point fitness-wise where he can do that again this weekend, or are you still kind of monitoring his minutes, and is it kind of a game-by-game basis?
No, I think he's getting sharper and sharper, right? So you don't want him to go into overload and then to fatigue mode and then injury mode, right? So we just want to keep him peaking at certain minutes and making sure we can push him these thresholds a little bit more and more each week and each game. He's felt good the whole week. He didn't skip any training sessions. He was active in the training, and he's feeling great. So, we're expecting him to be fit and ready.
Next, we'll go to Hart.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Hart in Vancouver. I wanted to ask you, Coach, what has Jake brought on the pitch this year that's really helped St. Louis get off to a great start? We know what kind of character he is off the pitch, but what has he brought that's kind of helped you guys this year? Thank you.
Thank you. Nice to meet you. I mean, Jake is a great teammate first and foremost, right? He's been around the league. He has good experiences around the league, and he's got a good engine on the field, right? So he's got the ability to be a good 1v1 defender. When we're defending and releasing into the channels and being on the front foot. So he's an active player. And then against the ball, with the ball in transition, he gets into good spots, right? So he can play a very good forward pass to get, his teammates in behind. He plays a really good quality cross. So, he's a dependable, efficient, smart soccer player, but I would put him at his top of his character. He's a really good teammate and a good human being. So, we spoke about this, what type of caliber person we're getting in, and he fits that mold and fits that model. So, and then it's his experiences within the leagues, and knows what it takes to get a good start in the MLS. So, yeah, we're happy to be, calling Jake our own now.
Next we'll go to Daniel.
And just one more quick one for me. St. Louis has had some success on the road this year. I know it's hard to win in MLS away from home. The Whitecaps haven't won a road game in MLS since June. So I'm wondering, what's the difference for you? Do you think had St. Louis getting success on the road for, some teams it's a bit of a challenge?
Yeah, I mean, I don't like to judge and look into other teams, but I just know that when we step on over the white lines, we want to play the game to win, right? So we're an active team. We want to play just as we do away from home and as well at home. So we don't really change for the opponent. We want to stick to what we do and what we believe in and what makes us strong. And I think you've seen some good performances from us on the road as well as at home. So yeah, sometimes it's easier for us to play away from home, to be fair.
Next we'll go to Daniel.
Coach, quick question. Are you and the boys doing anything special this evening? Going to any graduation ceremonies by chance?
We spoke about that this morning. We said, Miggy, do you want some visitors? Joe Aquini was into it. I think he might, put on the tuxedo and maybe show up. I'm not sure. So we'll see if anything happens. But yeah, congrats to Miggy again on his graduation. It's a big moment for him and his family.
And I'm just curious, his rise has been so quick and his talent is obviously there, but given the fact that he'll be able to focus 100% of his attention on practicing and training, et cetera, he said the only thing he'll get to do changing-wise is wake up a little later. For you, do you see what the potential could be if he's focusing 100%?
We're going to have to get him in a little earlier to do more video work or something. We don't want him to become complacent. No, I mean, we've thrown Miggy into the deep end many times, right? So just thinking of the Seattle game, in Seattle, we started him and we thought he did really, really well. And we've asked him in tough situations, when through need and necessity, right? And from a kid who came into preseason with no expectations from the staff or himself, and then won us over in every aspect, right? And it was hard not to have Miggy around every single day. So, it shows he's a competitor, it shows he's willing, it shows he has the quality, and it shows, he's just a teammate that everybody respects him around here and he respects everybody else. So, he's not just a new guy who stays in his lane and does his job and plays safe. No, we want him to be aggressive. We want him to play with a little bit of verticality and a bit of I wouldn't say a swagger, but we want him to, really enjoy playing in his first year as a pro. Sometimes guys just keep it safe, right? And we don't like safe. We like inducing mistakes of the opponent. We like, catching teams unaware and he's brave at the moment, and sometimes bringing a new guy in, and I was a young pro too, and you can play on a free ride because you can't make mistakes. It would be stupid of us as staff to try and put the brakes on in any single way when he's just now learning, and it's just like a sponge absorbing every bit of information and now going and put it out on game day, whether we start with him or not. So it's really good to have Miggy around, and it's a symbol for us as a club to show what we believe in and around the club, and producing homegrowns and nurturing talents, and this is what we stand for.
Caden Glover was riding a bike. What's up with Caden?
Yeah, he was meant to travel with his national team. He took a knock on his rib. I don't know if he's going to be ready in time to go to the national team. So he's a day by day, I would say, just to monitor him. And I think he should be back to speed probably next week, but we'll just have to wait and see.
And you've yet to use the same lineup in any game this season. Any chance that happens this week, and what does that say about this team?
Yeah, I mean, the obvious would and the easy would just be to roll out the lineup, right? So, that's the easy way. We assess every opponent. We assess every observation. We know Johnny Nelson comes back into the fray, and what it does do, it gives us depth, it gives us quality, it gives us competition, and that's the best thing for any team trying to be successful is the competition off the field. So we'll assess this and see who's up and fit and ready and healthy, and guys have we had 4 or 5 guys playing City 2 last weekend. Akil Watts does really well. We see Isak Jensen really well taking it to them in the second half and creating havoc and chaos. So, we have guys training in the right ways with their fitness as well as now sharpness on the field, and which makes our lives easier as coaches.
Coach, thank you for joining us. Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you.
Jake, coming off the emotions of last week against Kansas City, what can you dislike about Vancouver?
What can I dislike about them? That they're
Why can you get angry about,
they're just our next opponent. I know I played there for 6 years, and I owed a lot to that club, giving me a chance. But I'm here now, and I'm looking to get 3 points.
But there's no rivalry? You can't get a rivalry going with
No, I'm just going to play my game. Yeah.
How was it different, the defensive line last week without Nelson, with Hebert in there? What was it defensively to feel any different out there?
I think that's the luxury of what Brad was talking about with the depth and the competition that we have at every position. I think Kyle sliding into the left back, maybe it's not his most comfortable spot, but I think he did a great job, and I think it shows with a clean sheet that we really want to have more of them, and I think that's something that we pride ourselves on, and that's something that we challenge ourselves week in and week out to have more of those.
Over your 6 years with Vancouver, they moved you around a little bit. So you say there's no rivalry necessarily forming, but is there at least like a chip on your shoulder maybe that you've had such a successful run with St. Louis at right back, your natural position, and they're kind of moving you around? Any kind of statement game you view this as?
No. I mean, am I glad that I'm not playing left center back? Maybe just a little bit. I feel more comfortable playing on the right. But I don't think – I'm not trying to look at it that way. I'm not trying to hype this game up too much where I get, my emotions all messed up in my head. I'm kind of like a level-headed kind of guy that I want to just kind of stay in my own zone the whole time. So, I mean, would it be great to beat them? Of course. Would it be great to, get another 3 points and maybe be atop of the league? So, yeah.
And then anything you've brought to the team this week as far as your familiarity with maybe their players or style?
Yeah, I've talked to a few guys. Just what to expect from some of the players. I played with almost everybody on that team. I'm one of the few guys that aren't there this year, so I am comfortable. I played with a lot of them for 2-3 years, some of them 6 years. So I do know a lot of their tendencies, and I'll help those guys out.
So on the same note, very talented offensive weapons like Ryan Gold, Ryan White, Vite. What can you say about those guys, and thinking about what Matt said, like what can the team do to contain those guys?
Yeah, Brad touched on it. They're very good in transition. They've had a new kind of gear this year that I've been seeing. Their front four is very good players. I say that Ryan Gold is probably one of the best players I've played with, in my career, and I have a lot of respect for him. So I think they're very dangerous in transition. They have quality on the ball. Julian's, a very good crosser of the ball, good on set pieces. So we have to be up for that.
Go ahead, Hart.
Hi, Jake. It's Hart in Vancouver. How's it going?
Good, Har. How you doing?
I'm doing great. It's lovely to see you. You mentioned you talked to a few guys. How is the banter? How is the conversations? And how do you stop your buddy Brian White? He's leading the team in goals this season. How do you shut him down? Not the team. How do you shut him down?
Yeah, I'll probably talk a little smack to him, to be honest. That's the only guy. That's one of my good friends, that I've been close with for a while. We've been, texting this week leading up to the game. Yeah, he's a good player. He's got a great work rate. He's good in behind. He's good, off a long ball. But I think we just need to be aggressive with him. We need to make sure that we don't give him space. And yeah, maybe I'll hit him or something. I don't know. We'll see. Just a little check,
Jake, we know you're the keeper of receipts. So how much are you looking forward to this game in terms of your former team and how well they're playing? How much would it mean for you to win this game? I know all the games are kind of the same, but this one specifically, and maybe even scoring a goal.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm due for a goal. We have 14 goal scorers, and I'm not one of them, so that kind of leaves me out of that one. But I think that when you play for a club for 6 years and then you play, it's the first time playing them, you obviously want to win. And I hope that everything that we've done to prepare this week, we've been strong, we've been we've been really sharp on the ball and stuff like that. So I think that we're ready to go, and I hope that I can help the team in any way possible.
Final one from me. How have you found living in St. Louis? Expansion? How's the stadium? How's the facility? How is the show state?
It's been great. I love living here. My family and I have gotten used to it. We fell into a good routine. The stadium is next to none, I think, in the MLS. The fans are next to none, so it's been awesome so far.
Thank you very much, Jake. Good luck.
All right, thank you.
Anybody else? All right, Jake, thank you for joining us. Appreciate your time.
Jared.
How you doing?
I'm doing fine, thank you. Hey, when you guys score first, but especially when you score a goal in the first half, that's led to some of the biggest offensive, 3, 4, 5 goal games. What changes and what gets into this team? Well, I mean, a lot of teams score first, but they don't score 3, 4, 5 goals a game. What gets going for you guys?
I don't know. Selling just kind of unlocks maybe a little bit of confidence, and maybe that pushes us forward. Just knowing that we're up a goal, that we've broken the deadlock. I think it's common around the soccer world that happens when you score first. You often win or you get points at least, but I think it just gives us a little level of confidence, and especially at home with our fans, it makes it even easier. So yeah.
Is there a challenge this week after Kansas coming off the Kansas City game, a big week, now playing Vancouver, to stay in the frame of mind?
No, I don't think so, because we have a lot of home games, and I think we've spoken about it. We want to win our home games. All of these games are, we take them like finals. Every weekend is a really important game. Vancouver's on the a playoff team, probably right on the line, so they're a team we want to beat. We're not looking at the past. Obviously, we had a good weekend, but it's one game weeks. That's all I've been focusing on. I think the team's done a really good job of that as well, is winning and then taking the good and then moving on to the next week. So yeah, as I said, it's a playoff type game, so we're excited.
Go ahead, Matt.
Starting off strong, obviously you mentioned it, Bradley mentioned it. What do you feel you need to do against Vancouver? Is it a similar style to how you were able to start off well against Kansas City, or is there a different approach that you're going to take?
Yeah, I mean, we've watched some film. They sit off a little bit, so it'll be a different game, I think, than Kansas. And Kansas liked the ball, so we were able to take it from them a little more and get some more chances. And we've looked at it, and they don't give up as many chances, I guess, as Kansas. So we'll have to break them down in different ways. But I'm not going to give you guys all the tactics here, but we'll figure out different ways to hurt them, like we do with every team, and see if it works. But we'll see.
And you in particular, you're not a player who goes 90, so you haven't gone 90 all season, but by design it seems it allows you to kind of go a little harder in that 60 to 80 when you do. How does the mindset do you feel like you can go a little more all out a little sooner than some of the other players who maybe are used to going 90?
Yeah, I think just some games I play super hard and give it my all, and sometimes in the first half maybe I burn myself out a bit, but with the way we play and the demand that we have on attackers, if I'm coming all the way back into the game and then getting all the way forward and trying to score, it's, physically it takes a lot out of me. So sometimes, like last game, the first half felt, really exhausting for me. So I kind of just cramped up in the 70th, but yeah, maybe I could push through a little bit more. And as I get fitter throughout the season, hopefully I can get some 90s in there. But yeah, I think it just depends on the game, right? If we have the ball a lot, then yeah, we'll be less tired and maybe can do more offensively and we can keep the ball. There's less transition. But the way we play sometimes, it just requires me to be back and forward. So.
Go ahead, Santi.
Before the game against Sporting KC, you had a couple of games where you didn't start. How important was for you to have that type of performance on Saturday night?
Yeah, I mean, coming off the bench, trying to do the same thing. But yeah, just have a good mindset regardless. They're all important games. I played in the midweek game against Chicago. Still, thought I played well, and there was mix and stuff with the Open Cup. So no, for me, I always try and play the same way, regardless of starting on the bench, not playing, whatever the role is. Just try and give 100%. So no, sometimes I get rest, sometimes I don't. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens this weekend.
Frank?
So I think the number is you've only trailed for 52 minutes at all the home games this season. What do you make of that? I mean, the fields are the same every place you play. Why so dominant here?
I mean, I think that's a testament to our fans, a testament to the environment that they've created for us. We feel comfortable at home, and especially for an expansion team, that's definitely not always the case. The fans have, the style of play, the way we've been playing, the way we've been set up obviously has helped us in every way. And then the fans, it kind of combines really well. I think on the road, you always feel up against it, and sometimes that gets the best of you. But at home, we feel confident. We feel the energy from the fans, and it just gives us another level, I think.
Tom?
The season started with a home road, back and forth. Nice to have a bunch of home games in a row here coming up.
Yeah. As I said, we love playing at home. So, yeah, they're important to get 3 points to get the win. We want to walk out with all 3 points for sure. That's the way we see home games, and it's nice to not have to travel every week, get home at 4 a.m. and our bodies feel well rested. Everyone seems ready to go, so we're excited.
You got 2 more games to go before you'd get a yellow card subtracted.
I thought there was one with the Dallas.
I think you're at 3. Are you at?
Oh, okay.
I don't know how we count the Dallas game. I guess is the Dallas game right now doesn't count. I think.
Okay.
But apparently you've been looking at that. Are you thinking about that and about have you been dialing your game back a little bit in any way?
I mean, I did have 15 people there last weekend, so some of my friends from growing up, so they would have been pretty pissed if I had missed that one. But and then my grandpa's here from England, the first time to watch me play in the MLS this game. So, but this is it. I promise. From now on out, I'm just playing normally. And even in the games, I was playing normally. I think last game there was a potential yellow card between me and Jake, and I think I just gave the little point, and they gave it to Jake. So Jake's gonna take maybe he'll take a couple for me. But no, it's back to normal. It's fine.
What do you think what worked for the offense last week to have the 4-goal game that you guys had?
Yeah, I mean, we were cleaner. I think in the couple games before that, I think it was a little bit, we were missing that first pass forward. We were just missing. I don't know. For some reason, we were a little bit off, and I think we were just connecting the dots. We weren't overcomplicating it. We were making simple passes forward and playing it to the right guy's foot, and it was just all coming off nicely. And I think we need more of that. We need to take that into more games, and maybe that's a quality thing or just, focusing on that. I think we focused on it over the week. The coaches spoke about it, and then we executed it well. And I think, that's been a big point for us is that quality, first pass forward, the quality in the final third, keeping those extra balls so we don't have to run as much. I think in the last game it looked good, and that's how we want to play going forward.
And you guys just gotten used now to playing without Klaus? He's had 4 games that he's missed.
No, I mean, it hurts us without Klaus and Raz. They're quality players. We obviously miss them every week. If Klaus had been playing, he would have been scoring more goals. But yeah, we want to make sure that he's healthy and back. But yeah, we miss him, and we can't wait for him to come back. And it's just going to add competition to the team and help us overall.
Anybody else? All right, Jared, thank you for joining.
Thanks.
Much, Jared.